second time around, he gonna come guns blazing. And that's really when it's gonna be.
Gervonta Davis is in beast mode ahead of the Lamont Roach rematch's training, has shifted into a gear that wasn't visible before their first fight. The sharpness and explosiveness is back. Davis has been pushing hard in the gym, staying quiet publicly, but sending a clear message through how he trains. This rematch as personal Floyd Mayweather has been watching closely, and sources close to the camp say even Floyd was shocked by how difficult the first fight turned out to be. This wasn't the kind of performance he's used to seeing from Gervonta. He's now watching Davis go all out, tightening everything around him and showing no signs of complacency. David Bendes, who joined Floyd Mayweather's take, spoke about the fight on the Pound for Pound podcast with Kamaru Usman and Henry Cejudo. He said they should have counted it as a knockdown. If they had counted it, it would have went to Lamont Roach. He also gave Roach credit for how prepared he was, saying Lamont Roach came prepared. Then Ben zeroed in on Davis's mindset. What I didn't like about Tank is the whole he was gassing up Lamont Roach way too much, giving him way too much respect. He was talking about retiring and stuff that wasn't the same Gervonta Davis we're used to seeing. Then he added one statement to solidify Floyd's view on the new Tank, saying what Tank is capable of. Gervonta is a flicking beast, bro.
Well, seeing the first fight, like I said, both of them are great fighters, man. I mean, good fighters too, great fighters. Who's gonna have the edge this time? Yeah. Not saying he gonna win though, but Lamont.
Why?
He would have waited. Everybody saying that he won the fight. You know what I mean? You know, and then that when he took that knee, that really was supposed to be a disqualification. You know what I mean? And then you can't go to the corner and get your eyes wiped. You know what I mean? With a towel and all that. You know what I mean? Anybody else would.
Bendes also talked about their amateur history, suggesting Roach just knows how to deal with Tank style. They fought a lot in the amateurs, so maybe it's just the guy that has your card that probably played a big part. But I also didn't like how he said he wanted to retire, and he just wanted to get the money. Since that night, Davis has gone silent in public. There's no promotion, no press run, just training. The footage shows him sparring harder, hitting pads with more urgency, and keeping his movements sharp and compact. There's no dancing or showboating. No casual vibe in the gym this time. It looks like Davis knows what's at stake. Losing this rematch, or even looking average again, would raise serious questions about where he stands in the division.
Tank Roach, Las Vegas in June.
Tank Roach, okay, yeah.
I was hoping that it'd just be in the DMV because I feel like that makes the most sense. But now that fight is prime time. When before it was why you fighting them, Tank? Now it's you gotta fight them.
That fast.
Yeah, right?
That fast.
And that just goes to show you just how fast, like, you could just change, you could turn the odds on the casino. Now Lamont can have his pick of the litter. Like, Shakur could fight Lamont next. Keyshawn could fight Lamont next. Like, and those are all fights that we watch.
You know what?
Lamont Roach, on the other hand, is walking into the rematch with full belief that he already won the first time. He said, I know I won that fight this time. I'm not letting it go to the judges. I want it clear. His father and trainer Lamont Roach Sr. backed that up, saying, we knew it was going to be competitive, but the way it turned out, that decision didn't sit right with us. We watched the tape this time. We're adjusting and making it obvious.
Roach for Tank Davis, right? And if I'm being real here, right? The biggest fight for Tank Davis right now is the rematch. And the reason why I say it's the rematch is because everybody said that Tank lost the fight. The majority of fans said that Tank lost that fight because of the knee. So that's why I say the bigger fight should.
Jordan Roach, Lamont's younger brother, and the fighter himself, didn't hold back either. He said, I think my brother stops him this time. Gervonta can be hurt. We saw that this time. We push more, take more, and finish it. The Roach camp believes the 9th round knee wasn't just fatigue. They believe it was Tank mentally checking out under pressure. Jordan added, we saw something in him. We're not letting him breathe this time. No respect, no breaks music. Roach himself is putting real money behind that belief. He's betting $250,000 on himself in the rematch. That's not just confidence. It's personal conviction, in his own words. I know what I did the first time. I already beat him now. I'll just do it again and leave with the belt this time. Roach Sr. said the approach now is more aggressive. We're not waiting on anything. We're not trying to figure him out. We've done that. This is about finishing the job.
0. What do you have to do to create enough separation where this don't happen again?
Whew, it's a good question. It's going to be based on my training camp. I have to push myself a little harder if that didn't give me the win. And I have room. I definitely have room. I'm not gonna lie, I have room.
You believe you fought the best Gervonta, or do you think he got some more gears?
100% for a fact. I think he might have some more gears, but I fought the best Gervonta that night.
The best Gervonta that night, Robert Garcia, one of the most respected trainers in the game, watched the first fight and said publicly, "I had Lamont Roach winning. He was the busier guy, landed more clean shots than Davis. Didn't do enough in the later rounds. It wasn't a robbery. But I don't think Davis deserved the draw. This has created a different kind of pressure around Gervonta Davis. He's not just defending a belt anymore. He's defending his name, his reputation as one of the most dangerous fighters in the world. Took a hit after that fight. And the boxing community noticed fighters like Ben speaking openly adds heat. The rematch isn't about hype anymore. It's about legitimacy. Tank needs to dominate. Or people will keep bringing up Lamont Roach's name every time he's mentioned. I think the hardest.
I have a face. No. And I ain't shitting on him or nothing like that. He can punch. But Jonathan Okendo, he's from Puerto Rico. Bro, he got bricks in his hands, bro. I lie to you not. He punch hard. I ain't gonna lie. He a hard him.
That's why the intensity has changed. The rematch is scheduled for August this time. Davis isn't approaching it with cocky energy. There's no talk of retiring, no mention of just getting the bag. All the signs point to him treating this as a career-defining fight. Roach's team sees the change too. Lamont Jr. said, "He's going to train hard this time. I know that, but I don't care. I'm training harder. I'm smarter now. I've seen it. He's beatable." Jordan Roach added, "The best thing that happened to us was that draw. It gave us the blueprint. Now we're coming to take everything."
The decision I want, but we didn't get a loss here, so I felt like I won it, the last couple rounds, so it's cool. Lamont is a great fighter. Hopefully I can get that rematch because I know what I can do in a fight, but it's cool.
They also believe Davis underestimated them. Roach Sr. said, "Tank thought it was going to be easy now. He knows, and now he's scared." The tone from both camps is completely different than before. Davis is silent and focused. Roach is vocal and energized. The first fight gave Roach proof of concept this time. They're not trying to hang with Davis. They're coming to end the story. No more waiting for mistakes they want. To force the issue, there's also more awareness around how the judging could play out. Roach Sr. addressed it. "We know we're going into his territory again. We're not banking on judges. We're taking it from him clean."
Bad night. I look for a tough fight in the next fight, but I still see Gervonta winning. I think Gervonta will win in a little easier this time. But Roach is a heck of a fighter. He's going to give everybody a hard, anybody that fights is going to give a hard time. But I do think that Davis had an off night.
I spoke to Eddie Hearn and he said he wanted to make the Shakur Tank fight straight away. Obviously now Tank's going into the rematch. That won't happen yet, but when it does happen, Eddie's still adamant that could happen this year or straight after the Roach fight. How do you see that fight playing out?
Tank has never been in a fight like this. He's been in wars, but he's never been the guy people said got lucky. He's never had the public split on whether he deserved the result. He's never had a rematch where the opponent came in thinking they already beat him. That's what makes this fight different. Roach wants to make this ugly. Tank wants to erase the memory of March. The outcome won't just determine who holds the WBA belt. It will tell the boxing world whether Gervonta Davis is still the force everyone believed he was, or if Lamont Roach has his number permanently.
Between Lamont and Gervonta, you think?
I like Lamont in the rematch.
You were one of the few that kind of picked Lamont to begin with. Why was that?
I sparred with Lamont. I knew that he was a good fighter. He helped me get ready for the Oscar Valdez fight. And I knew his style with Tank style, what he was going to be able to bring to the table. I knew it. So,
did you really win 20 rounds?
I swear to God, on my daughter's life, I won that much money.
How different does a rematch look in your opinion, Shakur? What adjustments do you think we see from both?
Huh?
What adjustments do we see from?
The rematch between Gervonta Tank Davis and Lamont Roach is expected to take place in August. While there hasn't been an official confirmation, yet the fight is reportedly being targeted for the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, a previous regulatory hurdle involving the New York State Athletic Commission created. Some confusion, but the location appears locked, and regardless of the date shift, this isn't the only headline Davis is generating.
I went either way, and I was headed with the draw decision. In my opinion, I could say that Tank edged it if I was judging the fight. I had Tank up by 1 round, but that knockdown took it down a round. So, in my conclusion, I mean, like, I still think it was a draw. Because I had Tank up by like 1-2 rounds. It was, but that, like, the knockdown, it was all over the place. So I really don't, depending on how the ref take the bout, I think the bout came into a ref hands, honestly.
Did that teach you something about the business of boxing? Heading into the pros is like, yo.
There's heavy speculation about a potential blockbuster clash with Jake Paul later this year. Both Davis and Paul are said to be in early-stage negotiations. Paul has been teasing a matchup that crosses traditional boxing boundaries, and Davis's name is at the top of his wish list, however. Potential bout now hinges entirely on the outcome of the Roach rematch. A loss, or even a close win, could derail the hype train and make a commercial showdown less appealing.
You had Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach. Controversial draw. Who do you feel like wins the rematch?
Who wins the rematch?
Yeah.
They're both gonna come ready again. See, the first one was a tough one too. I had Lamont pulling off. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, smudge. Like I wasn't mad at the draw. You know, I'm gonna rock with Lamont though.
Think Lamont takes it?
It's hard.
Close, yo.
Because Lamont surprised me a lot. You know, so yeah, I'm gonna say Lamont, man.
Lamont takes it. All right.
Paul addressed the situation on the Ariel Helvany show a few days ago. He didn't hold back, saying, "I never really thought Tank was that good. It would just take the right fighter to pick him apart, to be honest, someone who had high activity and wasn't afraid of his power. So I always saw so many holes in his game to me. It wasn't that surprising that someone finally gave Tank some good work." Paul believes Roach may have exposed Davis in the first fight, and that a repeat performance would make a matchup with Davis far less marketable.
Sweat gonna get in your eye, blood gonna get in your eye, spit fuck around and get in your eye. You know what I'm saying? But it's not like you can be like, all right, time out, ref. Hold on, ref. You can't do that.
Right. Would you be cool with Steve Willis doing the next fight?
Hell no.
He can't do the next fight.
No, he can't do the next fight.
Right.
No.
Pops is a no?
Hell no.
Fuck that nigga.
Yeah.
You know how many
Coach Ben on him, man. He lucky he ain't running Coach Ben.
For Roach, the opportunity is clear. He knows he's a problem for Davis. He's already forced a draw, and now he holds the keys to disrupting any of Tank's future plans. That includes any talks with Jake Paul. Roach has zero intention of allowing that fight to happen, and he's made it clear that derailing the Davis-Paul commercial machine is part of his mission. He sees himself not just as a contender, but as a gatekeeper to Tank's legacy. His mindset is simple: if Davis wants the money, the brand building, and the Mayweather comparisons, he needs to get through him clean.
Man, he got lucky at the draw. He did a good fight though. I thought he won it, but man, you gotta just create more action. That's a sparring session as far as I'm concerned. But god damn, that's not the
Lamont Roach Sr., his father and trainer, is just as vocal. He insists that the first fight wasn't a fluke. "I think we saw a great Gervonta that first night," he said. "People can make excuses all they want. There ain't much of an excuse. Gervonta did some great things in the ring, but he was just in there with another great fighter." He frames the rematch not as redemption for Davis, but as validation for Roach. Roach Sr. also addressed what's next if Lamont wins. It's big for both of them, so a rematch should happen. "I know Gervonta wants it. We damn sure want it, honestly."
Honestly, I thought I should have won without that being counted a knockdown. Look, I ain't the ref. I ain't really, you know what I'm saying? Like, if he had to wipe sweat out his eye, he had to wipe sweat out his eye. But the rules do state, if you voluntarily take a knee, then that's an automatic 8 count. But it is what it is. I wasn't relying on that. I was relying on what I was doing. And I think I was taking control. I think I was landing more shots. I think I was landing more power shots. And I thought I was doing my...
The idea of a Roach versus Stevenson fight might have seemed absurd 6 months ago. Not anymore. If Roach beats Davis clean in the rematch, he becomes a key player in the lightweight division overnight, and Roach Sr. is already framing that possibility like it's within reach. They're not asking for shocker. They're expecting to earn that fight. Meanwhile, Davis continues to stay silent on social media. No public comments about Jake Paul, no mention of Roach. But on a Safe Place podcast, when asked who his dream fight would be against, he gave a surprising answer: me versus Floyd Mayweather. The response immediately stirred backlash, speculation, and disbelief. While most fighters dream of beating the best in the ring, calling out your mentor and the man who helped build your career crosses a line for many fans.
He got a lot of boos from that. A lot of people wasn't really feeling that. Do you feel like he'll fight better this next fight?
I think so, for sure. And, you know, you had mentioned that they've known each other since childhood.
Yeah.
So maybe that had something to do with that first fight. But now they've fought, they've gotten that experience out of the way. So I think we're going to see both of them a lot more locked in.
Way better, yeah. Definitely more locked in. Can you
The idea of a Roach versus Stevenson fight might have seemed absurd 6 months ago. Not anymore. If Roach beats Davis clean in the rematch, he becomes a key player in the lightweight division overnight, and Roach Sr. is already framing that possibility like it's within reach. They're not asking. For Shocker, they're expecting to earn that fight. Meanwhile, Davis continues to stay silent on social media. No public comments about Jake Paul, no mention of Roach. But on a Safe Place podcast, when asked who his dream fight would be against, he gave a surprising answer: me versus Floyd Mayweather. The response immediately stirred backlash, speculation, and disbelief. While most fighters dream of beating the best in the ring, calling out your mentor and the man who helped build your career crosses a line for many fans.
Say, man, look, man. Your beef is not with Floyd Mayweather. You sitting here beefing with Floyd. It's a fighter out here that's been calling your name that want to fight you. Gervonta Tank Davis, let's make the fight happen, man. I'm tired of tweeting. I'm tired of...
Still, Davis made it clear that this wasn't just a fantasy matchup. He called it a dream fight and put it above all other names. Not Shocker, not Haney, not even Jake Paul. Floyd Mayweather Jr. was the pick. The comment didn't come with any trash talk or disrespect, but the message was unmistakable. Davis sees himself as being on that level now and wants to prove it by facing the man who once guided him. This isn't new tension. Either Davis has parted ways with Mayweather Promotions, he's independently running his career, and the distance between the two has grown steadily. Naming Mayweather as a dream opponent only adds fuel to the talk that the split wasn't as friendly as it appeared on paper.
What's your dream fight card?
Dream fight card?
Anybody.
So there's a couple fights on there. Me versus Floyd.
Okay.
There's no seat. There's also the matter of Roach's own mindset. By aligning himself with a campaign to stop hate, he's essentially admitting that he's more concerned with his public image than stoking the kind of personal animosity that drives blockbuster rematches. That's a risky move in boxing. Respect only goes so far. At a certain point, the fans want to see some bad blood. They want to believe that these two fighters genuinely can't stand each other. If Roach keeps this all-love approach, he risks coming off as the passive, less hungry fighter, a dangerous perception to carry into a ring with someone as explosive as Davis.
Tank don't need to do nothing else. Tank good. At the end of the day, if Tank want to solidify